Yes, I can light the whole universe. I am different, I am purpose, I am brilliant. Yes, I feel it.
All right, we are in January of 2019, and let's just finish up some December, work we need to get done, which is the December foundations. Now, this month I have 4. One is a classic. I just added it in just because, but we're gonna do some stuff today. So I have 4. And if you would like to see the 4 foundations I'm going to be reviewing that I was using in December, don't go anywhere. Okay, so first off, let's talk about this eye look. It will be coming up. This is from the Flare palette by Ace Beauté, and I will be talking about it. And I have I want to do another look or 2 playing with it, and then I think I'm just gonna do like a big review. Ooh, I'm itchy. Of like a lot of eyeshadows. Or would you all want to see some individual reviews? Let me know, because I was thinking about just doing a whole big old review. But anyway, let's talk foundations of December. Now, what I think I'm going to be making a change is my monthly foundation review will be more, at least 2, sometimes more, because I actually wanted to try a couple of other ones, but I didn't get to them because I was like, okay. So it'll at least be 2. A lot of time, and one will always be high-end luxury, and then the rest might be, because like this month I already know 2 drugstores, affordable drugstore ones I want to try, and then I have a luxury one, and then I got a couple of luxury ones that I want to try. If you have any luxury foundations you would like me to review soon, put it in the comments so I can start making my list for 2019. You never know when it's gonna come up. All right, so that's it. So let's just talk foundations that I tried. Now I'm gonna start with the powder foundations, because I did 2 powders and I have 2 liquid foundations. So the first ones are powders. Now I'm gonna start out with, this is the MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. Now I have been using this thing for at least 25 years. Yeah, I started using MAC Studio Fix when I was about 25. And this was what I was using because I was scared of liquid foundations, because as we have talked about in lives and things, and I've spoken before, as a black woman, there was fashion fair. And yes, I'm a fair black skinned woman, but at the time, I didn't know that I could just go to any counter and get things. I felt like, hey, I'm a sister, so I got to go where the sisters go. So, and I had tried the fashion fair, and it was terrible, abysmal, horrible. And then, MAC came on the scene, and that was, fashion fair lost all us sisters, us black women, to MAC. Let's just be honest. When MAC came on the scene, every black woman had to, who all had, lip gloss? Who all had, what was it, oh baby or something? Yeah, I had my, okay. So anyway, MAC Studio Fix. Now, a lot of people use this as a setting powder, but I honestly wore it as a foundation. And it's like a light to medium coverage. So if you are not somebody who wants to wear a full face of makeup, but you want to be a little more put together, a little more polished for things that you're doing, MAC Studio Fix is a really good idea. I mean, you cannot go wrong. The shade range, MAC has one of the best shade ranges out there. So you can find you a powder that will work. It is very lightweight on the skin. They give you a little, now for years I used this little thing, this little sponge. This sponge will get you through, just so you know. This sponge will get you through, and if you don't, then go get a new one. You can get these sponges all over the place. But something about the quality of the MAC sponge is different than the ones that you get at the store. So if I don't know, if MAC sells these sponges, I would suggest getting them, because something about the MAC sponge is so much better than the ones you're going to get at the beauty supply. I'm just telling the truth. But this is such a beautiful powder. You can have this forever, and it will give you a nice light coverage, and it lasts fairly long throughout the day. Now, of course, it is a powder foundation. It is not gonna have the lasting power of liquids, but if you don't mind, touching up your nose a little bit here and there, going to get you that MAC. Let's talk about the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Powder. It just came out. It has a nice shade range. I'll have to look it up. I think it's like 20 or 30 in the shade range. It might be. But, you know, it just came out with it. I mean, within the last few weeks. I got it as soon as it hit. You can get it on Amazon. Amazon is much cheaper. But this is it, and it's a full coverage. Now, I used a brush. It does have a sponge with it. You know, they all come with these little sponges, but I used this brush and buffed it in. Now, this is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, so this is a very inexpensive combo right here. And it was beautiful on the skin. It has much more coverage than the Studio Fix does, so this is definitely can be built up to like a medium coverage, but it will give you that lightweight feel of a powder. So if you know you don't really like wearing, like I said, liquid foundations, but you want like a medium coverage, this is perfect. And I'm going to say this has long wear on it. Now, yes, you should have it with you. You might have some breakage on your nose, but when you wear it, it wears like it almost wears like a liquid foundation. So, you know, so it's very lightweight on the skin, but it does wear very well, and it doesn't move when you're putting on, you know, like your powder, your other powder products. It's, you know, if you set it, you know, you put it on and put on your other product and set it down with some spray, baby, this stuff lasts. It really does. I mean, I'm not going to say it definitely has 16 hour, but I know that I wore for at least 10 hours. And when I was taking off my, because normally when you take off makeup and you have on a powder foundation, by the end of the day, it's very little powder on your face. You kind of like, it's worn itself away. This, no, this baby stays. This for real stays. It is a really nice, it is a super stay. It is what it is. Now, with talking about Superstay, I also, because I was trying a higher end foundation, and supposedly this is the dupe for that. And so this is the Superstay Full Coverage Liquid Foundation. This came out first. They got like 30 shades or so of this. I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. I guess I put it, you know, and I put it up here. But anyway, I've had it since the summertime. I had a darker color because, you know. But I got this Sun Beige, and 310 Sun Beige looks good on me, for real, for real. And, okay, so here's the things about this. This is full coverage. One pump will get you a medium. 2 pumps of this stuff will give you a full coverage. Now, it is a full coverage, but it's not like the Milani full coverage where it's a really thick. This has thickness to it and weight, but it's not the same. Now, now this is what the difference is. With this one, you need to use a sponge, a makeup sponge. I used a brush and a sponge just to see how they would play with them, and it was not good. It didn't look good when I used the brush. It was like, oh, no, no, no. But when I used a sponge on it, it was beautiful. It is very full coverage. You can shear it down a little bit, but it stayed on well. It is long lasting. It is super stay. You know, because I was like, now it does break up on the nose. You know, I do have, you know, make sure you use a mattifying primer, blurring, whatever you use. Make sure, because it's not going to be perfectly matte all day. That is not what it's going to be. It will be, you know, it's breathable and comfortable, fade and transition. So it's oil free, but it's not super matte. It is not going to give you that super matte feel. You know, you are going to have to do the same things you normally do for, you know, if you're using, you know, if you have oily skin. But it will last you all day. I mean, it was great. It's a great coverage. It's a great coverage. So do I like that one? Yes, I do. I think it is worth the money. Yes. Now, next up was the high-end, and this is the YSL All Hours Foundation. Now, the YSL has a lot, and they have the same type of, these two have the same claims, which is up to 24 hours wear. Now, I wore it for quite some time, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I left it on for quite some time. All right, so this one says, and I have it in the color BD50 Warm Honey. So what they say about this is, Well, okay, here it says, up to 24-hour wear. This innovative formula is transfer-free with no compromise on comfort. No need to touch up even through non-stop activity. Full coverage. A rich level of fine pigments create a flawless, even coverage without a mask-like effect. Matte shine control throughout the day. This oil-free formula keeps complexion, protected skin, enriched with skincare complexes and sunscreens and things like that. Now, let me just say what I think about this. Okay, the YSL is not as full coverage as the Superstay. It still shows, like I have on 2 pumps, I can still see a little of underneath, you know, my skin, but it is very close to full coverage. I think both of them, you know, it does not feel mask-like. I think the newer foundations, that's really not a problem with, unless that's what their intent was. So in order to get a good medium coverage, a good full coverage foundation, nowadays you do not have to feel like you're wearing a mask of a foundation. That is just not necessary anymore. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to live like that. So yes, this is a very, very soft feeling and very natural feeling. That's what I'm looking for. It's a very natural feeling foundation. I have it on right now. It doesn't feel, you know how there was a time when foundation used to feel like heavy on your skin and you felt like your skin was being clogged every moment, where this doesn't feel like that. Now I will say this, I've used a brush and I've used a sponge with this. I think my best coverage with it is if I take a brush and buff it in and then take a sponge to finish it out. But you can use either a brush or a sponge. They do work about the same by themselves. I would say the sponge is a tad bit better. Now here's the funny thing about this one, is when I put it on, I don't necessarily like the finish that much. I don't. It's like, it's okay, bordering on I like it. But as the day goes on, it seems like the coverage gets better. It's like like in the beginning, I see my pores more. Like right now, I can see my pores more. Whereas like 5 or 6 hours from now, my skin will look more flawless then than it does now. And I know that's crazy to say, but that's exactly what happens. So like within 2 hours or so, it's going to, it's like it settles into your skin and gets comfortable on your skin, on my skin. And then it really looks pretty. And then I'm like, okay, because in the beginning I'm like, but about 2 hours later, I'm like, okay, girl, you looking good, you looking good. So that's the difference in the finish and how they wear. When I've worn it, there has been no transfer. So I love the fact that these newer ones are doing trying to do a transfer-proof foundation, because the worst thing as a woman is to have that foundation neck on the neck of your own collar on your clothes. Oh, that's so annoying. So there is no transfer. Once you set it down, it is down. Now it's going to break on your skin. Like my nose be giving them hell. So I would say like about 5 hours in is when my nose was like really shiny, because one day I just really wanted to see how long it would take, and it was about 5 hours in before my nose was like, okay, you're gonna need to blot something on here, put some matte powder on. And once I did that, it was fine for pretty much for the rest of the day. When I wear it, and when I take it off, it's pretty easy to get off, so it's not like clogging my pores or anything. I haven't had any pore issues with it. So all in all, it is a nice foundation. They do have a great shade range. So let's just recap all of our ones for today. MAC Studio Fix. This, I can honestly say, is a holy grail, because I have been using this forever. Hey, boo. And I had to go get her again because I had been neglecting her, but she's great. I want to say this Maybelline Super Stay Powder Foundation is an excellent buy. If you don't want to spend the money for the Studio Fix, try and see, can you find yourself a shade that works for you in the Super Stay, because I promise you this is a really nice finish on the skin. It actually has more coverage, and it still is a powder foundation, so it doesn't get cakey. And that's the thing with the powders, you don't want to get cakey. It doesn't get cakey in your skin. Once you set it down, it is going to wear just like, it wears almost like a lightweight medium liquid foundation. When it comes down to the Super Stay, at first, I was worried that I would have made a mistake when I said I liked it the first time. But like I said, do not use a brush with it. Use a sponge, and it's going to look beautiful on your skin. It is lightweight. It has, you know, it has the full coverage if you like full coverage. It's lightweight on the skin. It's not mask-like. It is a nice finish. It will, you know, you will need to blot at some point if you're an oily skin girl. But all in all, it's a nice one. I like it a lot. I do. It's a thumbs up. It's on my list. It's on the list. It made the list. And the All Hours foundation, this took me a minute to decide if I really liked it, and I do. Like, for it to be, it is one of my more full coverage ones. But once again, it's one of those things, like, if I'm gonna wear it out and be going places, honestly, I would try to put my foundation on a little earlier so it can settle into my skin. But once it settles in, it is a beautiful, beautiful finish, and you look like a movie star. You're just gonna work your movie star look. All right, so that's it for the December foundations. All four are great. I would say they have hit the LuuLuu list. Shall we call it that? It's on the LuuLuu list. That's going to be our new thing for 2019, the LuuLuu list. Is it on the LuuLuu list? If it's on the LuuLuu list, it's been approved. It's been tested, and it is part of it. So let me write that down, the LuuLuu list, and let me put that down for foundations, okay? Yay! All right, so anyway, let me know what foundations you've been using, any new ones you've got in your life, and tell me any that you would like for me to be trying out. So because y'all know I'm on a high buy, so I'm doing it for y'all. But seriously, let me know if there's any foundations you would like me to try out, and I will try to see what if I can get it in my budget. All right, so it's your LuuLuu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Rock your foundation, girls. Work it.
Never stop, never give it up. Never stop, never give it up. Never stop, never give it up.